10 signs that holding on to grudges is only hurting you. Number 1, you find yourself frequently replaying past grievances in your mind, which leads to feelings of anger. Number 2, you often have headaches, fatigue, or muscle tension. Number 3, you isolate a lot or you feel very lonely in general. Number 4, you struggle to find joy in life because you focus on the past rather than present opportunities. Number 5, you feel emotionally exhausted and find it challenging to engage in other aspects of life due to the weight of unresolved anger. Number 6, anxiety and depression, which makes it hard to maintain a positive outlook. Number 7, you realize you hold biases that prevent you from giving others a fair chance. Number 8, grudges inhibit your ability to reflect on and learn from the past, stunting your personal development. Number 9, you find yourself obsessing over the situation, which can lead to a lack of focus on your present or future goals. And number 10, you have a diminished sense of happiness overall, making it difficult to appreciate the little pleasant moments of life. 15 reasons why empaths can attract abusers. Number 1, high sensitivity. Empaths are often very sensitive to emotions, making them more aware of others' feelings and needs, and abusers can exploit this sensitivity. Number 2, compassionate nature. Their desire to help and heal others can attract unhealthy individuals who take advantage of this trait. Number 3, boundaries issues. Empaths sometimes struggle to set firm boundaries, allowing abusive individuals to overstep and manipulate. Number 4, desire for connection. Empaths seek deep connections, making them vulnerable to individuals who falsely present themselves in a charming or appealing way. Number 5, obsession with fixing. The tendency to want to fix others can lead empaths to overlook red flags in potential partners. Number 6, victimization patterns. Some abusers look for individuals who display characteristics of vulnerability, which empaths may unintentionally convey. Number 7, guilt sensitivity. Empaths often feel guilt when they say no or assert their needs, giving abusers an opportunity to control them. Number 8 would be conflict avoidance. Their desire to maintain harmony can cause empaths to avoid addressing problematic behavior early on. Number 9, overextending themselves. Empaths are likely to sacrifice their own needs for others, which can lead to becoming targets for manipulative individuals. Number 10, attractiveness of kindness. Abusers might be drawn to the kindness of empaths, viewing them as an easy target for manipulation. Number 11, intuition over reason. While being intuitive is a strength, it can sometimes cloud judgment, leading empaths to dismiss warning signs. Number 12, self-doubt. Empaths may struggle with self-worth, making them more susceptible to a partner's negative treatment. Number 13, nurturing instincts. Their natural nurturing tendencies can attract individuals looking to exploit that care and attention. Number 4, hopefulness. Empaths often see the potential in others, which can blind them to the reality of abusive behaviors. And number 15, fear of loneliness. The fear of being alone might lead empaths to settle for unhealthy relationships instead of taking the time to find a healthier connection. So there you go. 15 ways that empaths might attract abusers. Quick message to husbands on the autism spectrum out there. Here's 15 signs that your wife is taking on too much of the relationship work. 1, she often starts discussions about feelings, plans, and relationship issues, while you rarely do the same. 2, she's the one consistently organizing date nights, vacations, and family gatherings. 3, she's always available to listen to your problems, but you don't reciprocate in the same way. Number 4, she takes responsibility for most of the household tasks, even when you're both at home. Number 5, she consistently seeks to resolve disagreements while you avoid addressing issues. Number 6, she communicates with family and friends on your behalf, often keeping you out of the loop. Number 7, she frequently adjusts her schedule or plans to accommodate your needs and preferences. Number 8, she often expresses feeling overwhelmed or burdened by the relationship's demands. Number 9, she remembers anniversaries, birthdays, and social commitments while you might forget. 10, she often manages the budgeting and financial planning for the household. Number 11, she frequently suggests connecting or spending quality time, whereas you don't initiate much. Number 12, she expresses feeling unappreciated for her efforts in maintaining the relationship. 13, if you have children, she usually handles their scheduling and needs. Number 14, she hesitates to ask for your help, even when she clearly needs it, potentially leading to her being burnt out. And number 15, she exhibits stress or resentment towards the relationship, indicating she feels overburdened by putting so much effort into it. So there you go. Recognizing these signs can help you initiate a more balanced approach in the relationship. So consider these 15 signs that your NT wife is taking on too much of the relationship work. 20 sure signs that you're married to a narcissist. They believe that they're better than others. They believe that they deserve special treatment and may become upset when this is not given. They disregard your personal boundaries. They exhibit arrogance and condescension. They expect to be recognized as superior. They expect you to cater to their needs at all times. They frequently dismiss your experiences. They have an exaggerated sense of their own achievements and talents. They make you question your reality or perceptions. They put others down, belittling friends, family, or even you to maintain a sense of superiority. They rarely take responsibility for their actions. They react with anger or defensiveness when faced with any criticism, no matter how constructive. They require excessive praise and validation. They shift blame onto others. Their mood swings and unpredictable behavior can leave you feeling confused and walking on eggshells. They turn situations around to blame you. They're unable to understand or relate to your feelings. They undermine your confidence and self-esteem. They use emotional manipulation to get their way, and they come off as highly egotistical. Quick message to neurotypical wives. I want to talk about two kinds of attention. There's cognitive attention and there's emotional attention. If I have an ability to pay attention cognitively for extended periods of time, that means I can stay focused and I can stay engaged. If I can pay attention emotionally for extended periods of time, that means I'm able to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling for as long as is needed. Your ASD husband has a short emotional attention span. In other words, cognitively, he could pay attention for a long period of time as facts, figures, numbers, graphs, his special interest. But emotionally, he's only going to be able to pay attention for a very short period of time. In other words, he's only going to be able to feel especially uncomfortable emotions for a very short period of time. And eventually, he's going to lose his emotional attention span and either do a meltdown or a shutdown. So when you're trying to get your husband ASD husband to understand your feelings or get him to talk about his feelings, just know he's going to have a very short emotional attention span. He's only going to be able to experience what he's feeling for a limited amount of time. So I think 10 minutes seems to be the magic number. If emotions are involved in the conversation and he's feeling something over there, you'll do good to make it to the 10-minute mark. An interesting dynamic in the neurodiverse marriage is this. The autistic husband who's uncomfortable with emotions, right? He's got some emotions blindness called alexithymia. He's out of touch with his emotions. He's out of touch with her emotions. He doesn't really want to feel emotions. He doesn't want to talk about emotions. He doesn't want to listen to her talk about her emotions and so on, right? So, and I know this is weird, but as a way to create safety, he creates some emotional distance. And the way he creates some emotional distance is by having some undercurrent of conflict going on periodically or chronically. Sometimes it's low-grade chronic conflict. Sometimes it's high-grade periodic conflict. And all of this happens at an unconscious level. He doesn't even know he's doing it. He would even go on the record as saying, oh, no, I don't like conflict. Well, conflict is a way to keep her at arm's length. I don't want you to get too close. I want to keep some emotional distance between me and you. And so I use conflict, and that operates at an unconscious level when I do this. I use conflict as a way to keep a little distance so that I don't have to experience emotions. So if you find that you're in conflict frequently, just know that conflict is a way to establish some emotional distance. And that emotional distance in the ASD mind at an unconscious level downloads to him as safety. A quick message to autistic husbands out there. Sometimes your neurotypical wife may unconsciously create some conflict in order to have some connection. That seems one hell of a paradox, doesn't it? Because conflict is something that you try to avoid. But if she can engage you in some kind of conversation, even if it's an argument, at least she's getting some attention. Negative attention is better than no attention. And she's over there has felt invisible and lonely for so long, she'll take anything she can get. So sometimes, and this happens at an unconscious level, she may create conflict in order to get a connection. In other words, You'll begin talking or maybe even arguing with her. It's not ideal, but at least it's some kind of engagement. Quick message to neurotypical wives. Let's be honest. No one receives a manual for marriage. But when your husband is ASD, you quickly realize there's a second ultra-secret manual that neither of you received. Yeah. It's the one with footnotes explaining why he's organizing the pantry by color, shape, and frequency of use, while you still can't find the peanut butter. I hear this all the time from NT wives. She says, and I quote, "In this marriage, I feel like his mother, not a wife." Yeah. So the reason for that is your ASD husband is the emotional age of a child. That is the disorder. 8 reasons why people on the autism spectrum prefer structured and predictable social environments. Number 1, predictable environments can help reduce anxiety levels, as people on the spectrum know what to expect and can prepare themselves for social interactions. Number 2, structure provides clear social cues and rules, making it easier for people with ASD to understand what is expected of them. Number 3, many people with ASD thrive on routines, finding comfort in repetitive patterns and familiar activities. Next, structured environments often involve set roles and expectations, reducing the uncertainty that can make social interactions challenging. Next, structured environments can be tailored around specific interests, making socializing more engaging and less stressful. Next, controlled environments can limit overwhelming sensory stimuli, for example, loud noises and bright lights, helping people on the spectrum to maintain focus on social interactions. Next, a predictable environment often leads to consistent reactions from others, which can help people on the spectrum to understand social dynamics better. Lastly, predictable environments can allow for processing time between interactions, helping people on the spectrum to formulate responses without feeling rushed. 15 signs that you're being micromanaged by your spouse. Number 1, constant oversight. They often need to know your exact plans for the day and ask for updates frequently. Number 2, criticism of small details. Your partner frequently points out minor mistakes or offers corrections on tasks you've handled independently before. Number 3, lack of trust. They express doubt about your ability to handle responsibilities, leading them to take over or heavily influencing decisions. Number 4, frequent interruptions. They jump in with suggestions or changes while you're in the middle of a task, disrupting your workflow. Number 5, control over daily decisions. Your spouse often dictates how things should be done, even in areas that you're capable of managing on your own. Number 6, reluctance to let go. They struggle to relinquish control over tasks, even when you express a desire to take the lead. Number 7, feeling constrained. You feel like you have little freedom to make choices or express your opinions without fear of judgment or intervention. Number 8, over-communication. They tend to text or call frequently to check in on what you're doing or how you're handling tasks that you're supposed to be doing. Number 9, limited autonomy. You find that you're seeking their approval for decisions you would typically make on your own. And number 10, emotional reaction to independence. Your spouse reacts negatively or becomes anxious when you try to independently handle tasks or make decisions. So there you go. 10 signs that you're being micromanaged. 12 signs that you're struggling to listen to and fully understand your spouse due to anxiety overload. Number 1, difficulty focusing. You find it hard to concentrate on what your spouse is saying, often zoning out during conversations. Number 2, racing thoughts. Your mind races with worries, making it challenging to engage fully in discussions. Number 3, physical symptoms. You experience physical symptoms of anxiety, such as a racing heart or tension, which distracts you from the conversation. Number 4, interrupting frequently. You find yourself interrupting your spouse, not out of disrespect, but because you're preoccupied with your own anxious thoughts. Number 5, avoiding conversations. You tend to avoid deep discussions altogether, fearing that they might trigger your anxiety. Number 6, misunderstanding. You frequently misunderstand what your spouse means, leading to confusion and potential conflict. Number 7, feeling overwhelmed. Even simple topics feel overwhelming, causing you to shut down or melt down. Number 8, responding automatically. You respond without really processing what your spouse has said, often sticking to surface level replies. Number 9, increased irritability. Your anxiety makes you more irritable, leading to frustration during discussions. Number 10, difficulty retaining information. You struggle to remember details from conversations, which can lead to repeated misunderstandings. Number 11, escaping the conversation. You find excuses to leave a conversation, whether physically or mentally, to relieve your anxiety. And number 12, neglecting nonverbal cues. You miss important nonverbal cues, such as your spouse's tone or body language, which are crucial for understanding her feelings. There you go. 12 signs that you're having difficulty listening to and fully understanding your spouse due to anxiety overload. Hey, quick message to husbands on the autism spectrum. Your NT wife is a micromanager. Yeah, but that's because she has the mom brain. The mom brain, yeah, micromanagement is an important skill to have as a mother. And I know sometimes she's used that skill on you. Well, she has a hard time knowing when to turn it on, when to turn it off. Give her a break, okay? And sometimes her management has actually been good for you. So you can let her know tactfully, honey, if I need your management, I'll be sure to let you know. And then maybe she'll know when to turn it on, when to turn it off. So give her a little break. She has the mom brain. Micromanaging is a skill. And so if you download that as, well, she's being parental and treating me like a child and is very intrusive. Well, just that's the way she's wired, okay? So give her a break. And have her watch this video. I don't know, send it to her an email or a text or play it for her while you're in the car together. Yeah. And tell her I said hi. Okay. Quick message to neurotypical spouses out there. If you run into the following 3 things, it is a sure sign that you're dealing with mind blindness in your ASD spouse. Number 1, misinterpretation of intentions. The inability to accurately interpret the motivations behind others' actions or statements often leads to significant misunderstandings for those with mind blindness. For example, if a friend makes a sarcastic comment, someone with mind blindness might take it literally, leading not only to confusion, but potentially hurting feelings and straining the relationship. Number 2, challenges in expressing emotions. People experiencing mind blindness may find it particularly difficult to articulate their feelings or comprehend others' expressions of emotion. For example, they may struggle to express feelings of joy or sadness, leading to frustration for both the individual and their conversational partner. Without clarity in expressing feelings, the relationship may suffer from a lack of depth and connection. And number 3, limited perspective taking. Being able to empathize and adopt another's viewpoint is vital for informed communication. Those with mind blindness often find it difficult to step outside their own experiences, making it challenging to engage in discussions that require understanding multiple perspectives. And this limitation can inhibit collaborative problem solving, thereby exacerbating conflicts. So if you run into those 3 things, you're not dealing with somebody who has malicious intent, or that doesn't care about you, or that doesn't love you. You're dealing with somebody with mind blindness. Quick message to neurodiverse couples where one person's autistic, the other one is not. Things will never, ever, ever get better until you do this, and that is admit that you have a download problem. In other words, you're making an assessment about the other person's behavior. You're coming to conclusions about why they said something. You're making up a story, okay? They said or did this, and they shouldn't be saying or doing that. They're supposed to be doing this instead. Why are they doing this? How come they always say that? How come we never, yada, yada, yada? So you're trying to make sense of the other person's behavior and the motivation behind that behavior. And 99.9% of the time, your assessment is off. You think you're an expert assessor. No, you're below an amateur assessor of why the other people are doing the things that they're doing, why they're saying the things that they're saying, the motivation for doing and saying these things. You miss the mark almost every time. Statistically, you miss the mark so much that I wouldn't have any faith in your assessments of why the other person is doing what they're doing or saying what they're saying and the motivation behind that. You're downloading their behavior, you're coming to a conclusion, and it's always wrong. Always wrong. Now, I'm not saying that 100% of your assessment is wrong. Maybe 2 or 3% of your assessment has some validity to it. Statistically, do you want to count on that kind of an assessment? I wouldn't. If I went to a surgeon, and he goes, well, we have a 3% success rate. I would not want to use that surgeon. If I'm downloading other people's behavior and I have a 3 to 5% success rate of accurately portraying it in alignment with the reality of what's going on, I'm not going to trust my assessments. So things will not get better until you admit that you have a download problem. Quick message to neurotypical wives out there married to an autistic husband. When you're upset and your feelings are hurt and you're trying to get your husband to get it and he doesn't seem to get it, there's a multitude of reasons for that. And I'm not trying to get him off the hook. He's very much on the hook. Number one, he's going to be a slow processor when there's emotional nuances involved. So as you're talking to him about how you feel and he has this blank look on his face, it may take him several hours, if not days, to process that emotional content. Another thing that makes it look like he doesn't get it is anxiety. When you are emotional, emotions download him as anxiety producing, and he shuts down or melts down or sits there and tries to listen, but his brain is only operating on 10% at that point, so he's not really fully listening, understanding, and retaining what you're saying. And the third big one with respect to, well, I keep trying to help him understand my emotions, and he never seems to get it, is the alexithymia business, also called emotions blindness. So he's out of touch with his feelings, he's out of touch with your feelings. When you try to talk to him about how you feel, he might be thinking, why would she feel that way? And if you say, well, I feel this way about such and such, and you expect him to know what he's supposed to do based on how you feel, no. So if you're talking to him about your feelings and you feel like he's being dismissive, you don't feel validated, it's like he just doesn't care. That's not what's going on. He's a slow processor. He has some emotions blindness, and he has a significant anxiety problem. So anyway, maybe don't take it personally. You might want to just text him how you feel so that he can have time to process it without feeling your powerful emotional energy, if he's only a few feet away from you. Just a thought. Hey, this is Mark Hutten. Would you like to schedule a one-on-one Zoom call? Okay, it's so simple. Just look under any of my videos in the description area. Click on this Calendar link. Now you see my calendar. Pick your month, your day, anytime that's available. Enter your name and email address. Then you'll get a follow-up email with the Zoom link on the day and time that you picked. And voila, we will talk.